A river of 18,500 cubic meters of concrete was poured in less than 2 days, creating a massive foundation to hold a 385-meter tower that scrapes the desert sky. In another part of the world, a 20-lane highway, wide enough to land an airplane, was carved through a remote jungle, yet remains eerily empty. Engineers are creating entire artificial ecosystems, including a man-made lake holding 650 million cubic meters of water, and designing a new capital where trees will outnumber people in a city that is 75% green forest. Why are we building these colossal cities in the most challenging places on Earth? These are 5 of the boldest engineering projects in human history, mega capitals built from scratch. Deep in the rainforests of Borneo, Indonesia is spending $35 billion to build a new capital called Nusantara. The reason? Their current capital, Jakarta, is the fastest sinking city on Earth. So they are abandoning it and starting over in the jungle. The plan is to create a futuristic utopia, a smart forest city where nature and technology live together. The city will cover a massive 2,561 square kilometers, an area almost 5 times the size of a city like Madrid. The official plan says over 75% of the main government area will stay green, with every resident able to reach a park in just 10 minutes. The engineering behind this vision is incredible. To handle the jungle's heavy rains, they are building a sponge city. This means using porous surfaces, green roofs, and special channels to absorb rainwater, preventing floods and storing water naturally. The entire city is designed to run on 100% renewable energy, aiming for zero carbon emissions by 2045. Buildings will be equipped with thousands of sensors to manage energy, and transportation will be dominated by electric and even autonomous vehicles. The goal is a high-tech city that breathes with the forest, a perfect blueprint for a sustainable future. But building this green dream has a dirty secret. The site is a mix of swampland, peat bog, and dense rainforest, home to endangered animals like orangutans and sun bears. To build anything, you first have to destroy. Construction crews are clearing land and building massive roads that cut through ancient animal corridors. While the government promises to reforest huge areas, progress is alarmingly slow. Experts warn that the new trees being planted are often the wrong kind, creating sterile plantations instead of a living rainforest. This $35 billion project is mostly funded by private investors, but many have been hesitant to commit money, worried about political changes and the massive construction challenges, leaving a huge question mark over whether this forest city will ever be finished. If carving a city out of a living jungle seems impossible, what does it take to build one in the middle of a lifeless desert? 45 kilometers east of Cairo, in the middle of the empty desert, a new city is rising from the sand. This is Egypt's new administrative capital, a project so enormous it makes Nusantara look small. With a price tag of $58 billion, it's designed to be a new home for over 6.5 million people, spread across 700 square kilometers of sun-baked land. The goal is to escape the crushing congestion of Cairo, a city of over 20 million people. But this new capital is more than just a solution. It's a statement. It's a modern-day pyramid, built to show the world Egypt's power. At the heart of the city is the central business district, and towering over everything is the iconic tower. At 394 meters, it is the tallest building in all of Africa. Building a skyscraper of this size on sand is an engineering nightmare. The foundation is a giant concrete slab, or raft, that is 5 meters thick. To create it, engineers had to pour concrete continuously for 38 hours straight, a record-breaking feat that required thousands of workers and military precision. But the tower is just the beginning. The city also features a massive sportsplex with a stadium for over 93,000 people, a new international airport, and a high-tech monorail system to connect it all. The most ambitious feature is the Green River, a 35-kilometer-long park that is designed to be double the size of New York's Central Park. Creating a river in the desert requires a colossal water project, pumping millions of liters of water from the Nile through a new treatment and pipeline system just to keep the city alive. This grand vision, however, comes at a staggering cost. The $58 billion price tag is a heavy burden for a country facing serious economic problems. Critics say the project is draining money that could be used to fix Egypt's existing cities. Furthermore, the new capital is a city built for the rich. A simple two-bedroom apartment can cost around $50,000, far out of reach for the average Egyptian. Many fear the city will become a walled-off fortress for the government and the wealthy, leaving millions of poor citizens behind in a crumbling Cairo. It is an engineered marvel that risks deepening the divide in the nation it's supposed to lead. But what happens when a government builds a city not for the rich, but for no one at all? The result is a multi-billion-dollar ghost town. Welcome to Naypyidaw, the capital of Myanmar. It is a city 4 times the size of London, with a 20-lane highway running through its center. But there are no cars. Grand government buildings stand empty. Luxury hotels have no guests. This is what happens when a city is engineered not for people, but for paranoia. In 2005, Myanmar's secretive military government shocked the world by announcing it was moving the capital from the bustling city of Yangon to this empty spot in the middle of the jungle, built completely in secret since 2002. The engineering of Naypyidaw is bizarre until you understand its true purpose. The city covers over 7,000 square kilometers, but it was designed to keep people apart. The zones for government ministries, the military, and residences are separated by vast distances, making it impossible to walk anywhere. There is almost no public transportation. The infamous 20-lane highway stretches for 4 kilometers, perfectly straight and flat. It's so wide and empty that many believe it was designed to be an emergency runway for military aircraft in case of an invasion or a popular uprising. The entire city is a fortress. Its inland location makes it hard to attack from the sea, and the wide open spaces make it nearly impossible for protesters to gather and grow as they could in the crowded streets of Yangon. This ghost fortress was built at a cost of around $4 to $5 billion, an immense sum for one of the poorest countries in Asia. That money was spent on infrastructure for control, not for community. There are few schools and hospitals for ordinary people. Government workers were forced to move here, leaving their families and lives behind in Yangon. The result is a hollow city, a collection of massive, empty structures that serves as a chilling reminder of what can go wrong. Naypyidaw is a masterclass in how to build a capital if your only goal is to protect the government from its own people. It is the ultimate cautionary tale. But is it possible to build a new capital that actually works? A city that learns from these mistakes? Just 25 kilometers south of Malaysia's crowded capital, Kuala Lumpur, lies Putrajaya. Launched in the late 1990s, this city was also built from scratch on former rubber and palm oil plantations. For years, it was criticized as a quiet, sterile ghost town. But today, with a population of over 120,000 people, it is seen as a quiet success story, a model of how to build a new administrative center the right way. And the secret to its success is a brilliant piece of environmental engineering, a giant living water machine at its heart. The centerpiece of Putrajaya is a stunning 400-hectare man-made lake holding over 23 million cubic meters of water. But creating a clean lake in the middle of a city is a huge challenge because runoff from roads and buildings pollutes the water. Instead of building a massive concrete water treatment plant, Putrajaya's engineers did something much smarter. They built the largest constructed freshwater wetland in the tropics, a 197-hectare system that acts as the city's natural kidneys. This wetland is divided into 24 different cells, filled with specific plants and rock beds. Before any water reaches the main lake, it first flows through this wetland. The plants and microorganisms in the soil naturally filter out pollutants, cleaning the water for free. This living system not only ensures the lake is clean enough for swimming and water sports, but it also creates a beautiful habitat for birds and wildlife and helps cool the entire city. Putrajaya was built on the concept of a garden city, and it lives up to the name. Nearly 40% of its entire 49 square kilometer area is dedicated to green spaces, parks, and the lake itself. The project cost an estimated $8.1 billion, and while it took over a decade to attract residents and shake off its empty image, it eventually worked. Its smaller, more manageable scale, and its focus on creating a high quality of life proved to be a winning formula. But what happens when you have to build a city in a place so hostile that nature itself is the enemy? Welcome to Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan. Built on the flat, empty grasslands of the steppe, is one of the coldest capital cities in the world. Here, temperatures can plunge to a brutal minus 35 degrees Celsius in the winter and soar to a hot plus 35 degrees in the summer. To build a thriving city in such an extreme climate required some of the most innovative engineering on the planet, creating futuristic structures that seem to defy reality itself. The most famous landmark is the Khan Shatir, which means Tent of the Khan. It is the world's largest tent, a 150-meter tall transparent cone that covers an area of 100,000 square meters, bigger than 10 football fields. The tent's skin is not fabric, but a high-tech material called ETFE, a strong, translucent plastic arranged in 3 layers. This material lets sunlight pour in while acting as a massive insulator. Inside, an advanced climate control system maintains a comfortable tropical temperature of 15 to 30 degrees Celsius all year round. This allows the Khan Shatir to house an entire indoor park, a shopping mall, a boating river, and even an indoor beach resort, complete with warm sand and palm trees, where people can enjoy summer while a blizzard rages outside. One of the biggest engineering challenges was preventing ice from forming on the inside of the giant tent. The solution is a system of jets that constantly blow a curtain of warm air up along the inner surface, keeping it just above freezing. Not far from the tent stands another architectural marvel, the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. This is a perfect 62-meter tall pyramid designed by the famous architect Norman Foster. Building a steel and glass pyramid in a climate with an 80-degree temperature swing is almost impossible. The extreme heat and colds cause the building's steel frame to expand and shrink by as much as 30 centimeters. This movement would shatter any normal foundation. To solve this, engineers used a technique from bridge building for the first time ever in a building. They locked down one corner of the pyramid firmly into the ground and placed the other 3 corners on giant bridge bearings. These bearings allow the corners of the massive pyramid to slide back and forth, letting the entire structure breathe with the seasons. These incredible structures have transformed Astana from a remote town into a futuristic mirage on the steppe. But they also raise a fascinating question about our future. From a forest built from scratch to a beach in a frozen wasteland, these cities are rewriting the rules of what is possible. But what vision of the future will actually succeed? The cities that try to mimic and heal nature, or the ones that build a machine to escape it? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's most ambitious mega projects, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next exploration.